Okay, this is outside my apartment. Yeah, I have American flags up. America has gone to hell, but our flag still stands for the good America. Mr. Trump, bring back the good America, please. We need it. Okay, Henny Carlisle is being elder cleansed. On Friday, April 12th, I took her to the doctor. She had already suffered from diarrhea, unbeknownst to me, until she had another incident right before the time for the appointment. I got her first Imodium. Her son, her daughter-in-law had been caring for her, and they let her have diarrhea and did not treat it at all as we were instructed by the doctor. Diarrhea is a natural part of chemo, and she had had successfully her first chemo and gotten better. Her yellowing had almost disappeared. It certainly had diminished. So she got to the doctor's office. I was separated for the first time from her. She went ahead and saw the doctor, and I heard parts of it. She had had an accident. I didn't hear that part. And he elected not to clean her up. He kept her there and got a do not resuscitate approval by her. And then he left the room to, I guess, get it recorded or whatever, to call the hospital because she was dehydrated, had 3 days of diarrhea, of which I only found out of right before the appointment. So he comes back. I said, you just had a DNR conference, didn't you? I am a guardianship attorney among many things. I am a lawyer without a country, but I did guardianships both as an attorney and as a guardian for elderly ladies who had nobody else and liked my style. My style is informal. So I was the caregiver for Henny for 3 years since she had a stroke and had been recovering slowly from that stroke. I drove her car. I did everything I could for her. And there I was at the doctor's office, separated. Ultimately, I got into the room, but he pushed me over to the far end of the room. I did not smell her, did not know. And I told him that was not informed consent. And he said, it doesn't matter. He's got the DNR and that's all. Well, he called an ambulance. No, he didn't. Couldn't have an ambulance. He allowed her to walk out. Of course he didn't. She was dripping in diarrhea and he wasn't going to clean her. He had nurses all over the place. No cleaning her. He is a monster. Dr. Jason Boyd, SMOC. He needs to be horsewhipped. He needs to be tarred and feathered. He needs to be run out of town. And yeah, he needs to be prosecuted and sent to federal prison. He has violated the most fundamental rights of women and of men. Elders. Our elders are being killed when he gets a chance. Okay, so we get to the hospital. Well, first she gets into the car, then I find out. I said, Henny, what's the matter? And she breaks down into tears like any woman would. How can you women allow this man to continue practicing having done this to this woman? 30 minutes, never cleaned up. In a medical office filled with nurses. Why did this happen? Why does not someone begin to demand him to end his practice and to face charges for all that he has done? And he has done a lot. He is an elder cleanser. So we get to the hospital. There's no nurses waiting like the SMOC and Boyd, Jason Boyd promised. But I do change out the DNR immediately with a slip of paper from Tyler L., who has no nurses to offer us. So I get Henny to sign it. She signs it well. It upsets the nurses upstairs when I eventually get it to them at the hospital. They did not want her to be off of DNR. They want it to DNR. They, I guess, some of them are part of it. Some of them just believe that it's a lot easier if they don't have to resuscitate. A lot of work to do that. Got to call in a team. So in any event, she retracted it until her son Leon was there. Turned out Leon wanted his mother to die. Picked the wrong son. Well, I think the other son is also probably a part of Leon's plan. I should have picked myself. I have no money urge as to Henny. I want her to live. I am basically sacrificing my life to fighting for her to have one more chance to live or to avenge her death, which is coming soon if no one acts. So there we were, and finally, after 30 minutes in the hospital, after 15 minutes on the 4th floor, I finally get a nurse's aide and tell her there's supposed to be people cleaning this lady up. She's been in diarrhea for almost an hour. They brought in the team and cleaned her. But it should not be like this. This is how the doctor should be arrested for elder abuse, just that one incident. But they don't care. The hospital doesn't care. Crystal Lemon doesn't care. What was done to her, that was her assigned person. And Dr. Boyd did that to her. Crystal Lemon does nothing. Meredith, whatever her name is, at the hospital, Meredith doesn't do a thing towards it. In fact, the hospital says if it occurred off premises, it's no concern of ours. We'll still let Dr. Boyd rule the 4th floor unless he does it on our premises. That is insane. They are co-conspirators, and they need to be prosecuted after a fair investigation that shows how many people they've done this to. There aren't just one person one time. Henny Carlisle is just one that had it done while she had a smart person around, someone who observed all the things Dr. Boyd did wrong. America, stand up and fight and get her saved and fight elder cleansing. Please, can you cease your apathy, America? Donald Trump, you need to get this particular thing, elder cleansing, dealt with. It evidently is a big movement across the country, and they probably have interconnections with each other, because there's a technique to doing it. Leon Carlisle, her son, used a crowbar to separate me out of the home that I'd lived in for 16 years. That was the elder cleansing guys that told him to do that, because they had the police department under their thumb, or on their team, I should say. Help. This entire county is corrupt. Yes, there are people that aren't part of it, but they don't know what's going on, and the ones that know what's going on control the final decisions. Help, help, help. This is just one of many. Yeah, I had to buy this camera with the last bit of money I had, but I don't care about money. I care about Henny Carlisle. Do you? Do you care about people? Help, 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 help.